Hello, my friends, and welcome to another exciting video where we discuss our favorite topic, which is no contact. Today, we are diving into the profound journey of post-breakup self-discovery and empowerment. If you've recently faced the storm of a breakup, know that within that storm, there's a sanctuary, and that's called no contact. I know that literally all we talk about on this channel is no contact, and I specifically made this channel because that topic is not only so essential after a breakup, but it's so hard to find enough content to devour when you are in the anxious state of basically being in withdrawal from your partner after being broken up with or having to break up with someone due to disrespect in a relationship. So, yes, most of our videos are actually going to be diving into not only no contact, but self-discovery and empowerment, because those are two incredible side effects of doing no contact properly. And they're also two very, very, very important things to not overlook during the process. In fact, if you are only doing no contact as a means to get your ex back, well, it may not work. It may work temporarily, but you're not going to be doing all of the necessary legwork to ensure that any future relationship, including one with your ex, could last. Because let's just be honest here. If something ends, there's a reason for it, and there's two parties involved. So, I mean, none of us is 100% perfect. None of us can bring 100% our best selves all the time, and there's always room for growth. So when I talk about these things, I understand that some of these topics sound so cheesy. I've said it before and I'll say it again, but believe me, there's a reason for it. And the more content that I create, this is a brand new channel, the more content that I create around no contact, the more that we'll get into the nitty gritty from the cheesy. But you do have to remember that you are in anxiety brain right now. Likely, you are in a state of withdrawal from this person. You are just probably not feeling great right now. Let's just be honest with ourselves. And if you are, then that's awesome. I don't even know why you found this channel then, but I guess I'm glad you're here. But if you are feeling 100% healed, I don't feel like you're going to enjoy this. But if you are in a place where, no contact is brutal, that's why I made this channel. And I'm going to do a combination of this motivational stuff, which is a little cheesy, but it's going to soothe that anxiety brain. And then we're also going to dig into some of the reasonings behind no contact and some other content just based on how to get the most out of the no contact period. Because while no contact, in my opinion, should pretty much be forever until that ex contacts you, there's some exceptions, which again we can talk about as we create more content on this channel. But it really should be forever. But I don't want you to live in this no contact brain forever. We really want to have you in these videos and working on yourself to the point that you feel that you don't need these types of videos anymore. So again, that is why I'm creating this content, to hopefully get you back on your path as soon as possible, but also using this time in the most productive way. So anyway, let's dive into this little bit of content that I have for you today. And it's really about empowering your breakup and how to master no contact for a fresh start. So no contact isn't merely about closing doors. It's really a deliberate choice to swing open the most important one. And that is the door to yourself. So often in these relationships, we can't help but really focus on the other person, especially if there's an air of codependency or any attachment issues. So post-breakup, you're confronted with yourself. So no contact is unfortunately kind of a harsh reminder of that, but it's a great time to get to know yourself again. So picture it as a cosmic realignment. It's a transformative period where you reclaim your energy, your time, but also your essence. This is your time to shine, to bloom, and to stand firmly in your own radiant light. The, kind of exciting side effect from this is that if your ex sees you thriving, that's the best revenge that you could ever get, because it's really not revenge. It's just an incredible feeling where you're feeling better, you're feeling more yourself, and you are discovering new facets of you that you may have not even ever known was there. And when they see you glowing, they're going to be like, And then you're going to be like, well, I don't even know if I want you back. But anyway, moving on. So understand this as a metamorphosis. We talk a lot about caterpillars on this channel so far, even with a few videos, but it's such a perfect analogy. So much like the caterpillar trusting the unseen beauty that it will become, you need to trust your process, which right now is the process of no contact. No contact is not just about healing. It is about evolving into the best version of yourself. All right, now let's delve into practical tips to master no contact and elevate your journey. I promised you some practical tips in addition to some of the cheesy stuff. So first of all, you have to set clear boundaries. You have to define what no contact means for you. And you have to communicate these boundaries with yourself with clarity. And please, please, please. Okay, I have to say two things here. No contact does not mean 30 days. No contact does not mean 45 days. No contact does not mean 60 days. If you believe those things, please find somewhere else to go. With all respect, those are just terrible limits. Yes, you may see movement between days 45 and 60, as a lot of other channels talk about. 30 days is a very short amount of time, but the fact that you want to reach out to that person after X amount of time tells me everything about where you're at in your self-discovery journey and your self-worth journey. Because if someone left you, if someone didn't want you in their life anymore, it should be their job to come back to you when they're ready, okay? Period. And this is perhaps the most important thing that I'm going to tell you in this entire video. When I talk about defining what no contact means, this is between you and you. Please don't communicate this to the other person that you're doing no contact on. Don't text them and say, yeah, I'm going into no contact now, so you're not going to hear from me. Yeah, no. That's like letting them sink your little battleship. Like, no, thank you. This is about you. This is not about them. They're not privy to this. And it's not a game. It's your reality. They don't need to know, all right? I'm really sad that I even have to say that, but I know that I do. Okay. So second, we're going to focus on self-reflection. So during no contact, use this time to understand yourself better. Reflect on your goals, reflect on your values, and what truly brings you joy. This is about you. Third, bullet number 3, reconnect with your passions. And if you don't have passions yet, if you're not a particularly passionate individual, go find some. Rediscover the activities that ignite your passion, whether it's a hobby, a career, or a business aspiration, or any sort of creative outlet. Invest your time in what brings fulfillment. And I do have to point this out as an entrepreneur myself. Any creative outlet has a lot of potential to become a business. So if that's something you've ever thought of, this is a great time to pour yourself into something that you can develop and have some extra time to develop. When you reconnect with your passions, you are putting your mind to something that is going to bring you self-fulfillment and self-worth and value. And you are going to naturally start taking that person off of the pedestal because you are going to see some incredible things that you are doing with your life. And it's just going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing unfolding within you. And again, that anxiety brain, it's going to take off a lot of those negative feelings because you're doing something other than dealing with breakup mind. It's going to just be fantastic. So reconnect with passions. If you don't have any yet, find some. You'll love it. I know you don't want to hear this. Everybody talks about it, but it's really important. And yes, that can include the gym and working out. And I definitely think that that's a wonderful thing to get into as well because of all of the chemicals that are released in your body when you exercise. Plus, you'll look better. Yay. 4. I'm going to reread 1, 2, and 3 before I get into 4. So 1, set clear boundaries. 2, focus on self-reflection. And 3, reconnect with passions. 4, this is actually really important. You have to cultivate a support system during no contact. Like I've said in some other videos, perhaps on my Megan Summer regular channel, you have people in your life that are not your ex, okay? You have people. Be grateful for them. Remember them. I know sometimes when we get in relationships, it's like we glob on to that one person, and when they walk away, it's like your entire world crumbles and you don't even know who to talk to anymore or who to go to. And some people just don't have friends after a relationship. And to me, that's heartbreaking. So during this time, definitely surround yourself with friends and family who uplift and support you. And don't always talk about your ex. I would definitely suggest trying to not talk about your breakup if you can. You can do what you need to do at the beginning, but I would definitely limit that discussion, with a very few amount of people who really don't know that other person, because word can get back more than you have any idea. And also, it's just like you're going to be ruminating over and over again. There are times where you're going to have to talk about it and talk it out, but limit that amount of time. Give yourself like 5 minutes to talk about it, and maybe with like 1 or 2 specific people. For me, it's always been my mom. She can handle it, and I give myself maybe like a few days after the breakup, maybe like a check-in a week later, and then maybe like a month later if it ever just hits me. But otherwise, like, I'm handling it myself, and it's because I don't want to keep ruminating over negativity. I want to keep moving forward. So I really self-soothe rather than having to go to somebody else to talk it out. And therapy obviously is a great place to do all of that because it is a secure and private space. So just a few things to think about. But you can share your journey with those who care about your well-being. And I think that that is the kicker. Talk about all the wonderful things that you're doing. Talk about you. Focus on you, and focus on getting to know the people who aren't ever going to leave you. Focus on what they add to your life. Focus on listening to them and loving them during this time. That will really, really not only up your spirits, but up your confidence as a person, because you're amazing, and being in your life is a privilege. and your ex left. That was what they chose to do. These other people chose to stay. So continue to reframe that situation and talk about it in your mind and say, I am somebody worth staying for. It's a privilege to be in my life. So if this person ever does decide to come back, they need to do the work to get back in touch with you and to really prove that they're not going to leave again. Anyway, number 5, practice self-care. This is so important. Prioritize your mental and physical well-being. We talked about hobbies, and I briefly mentioned physical activity. It's incredibly important. Physical and mental activity to be healthy are both very, very important. Engage in activities that promote self-love and nourish your soul. For me, that's been spirituality and going to the gym. After my last breakup, briefly before it, but I stayed consistent. I started singing at church on Wednesdays, and it gave me a support system, and it let me do one of my favorite things, which is singing, and it got me back in church more regularly. That's just what I enjoy doing. That's just one example. And, whatever spiritual practice you might feel could be helpful, or maybe it's for you getting back into therapy. For you, maybe it's meditating. For you, maybe it's grabbing a yoga mat and heading over to the beach and watching the waves and just sitting quietly and pensively, or journaling. A gratitude journal is great. And like I said, you can't get past finding some sort of physical activity to either get back into or remain consistent with, because not only will you feel better, but like I said, you will look better. And I don't know why we stop working out when we're in relationships, but so often we do. It's a terrible thing. Always focus on yourself. But at post-breakup is a really, really nice time to get back into that if you let that fall off. So if you are still in the phase where you are contemplating no contact, please consider it. Your alternative really is to keep bothering the person who said that they didn't want you anymore. It's not a very attractive alternative. I can't say it enough. Please go into no contact if you've been broken up with. You're not giving up that person. You are choosing dignity and you're choosing growth. So please embrace this time to set intentional boundaries, reflect, reconnect with your passions, cultivate support, and prioritize self-care. Those 5 beautiful things. Your journey is unique, and remember, the best is yet to come, whether or not your ex comes back. Keep your head high and keep moving forward, and please don't check their social media. You've got this, I promise. So feel free to drop your story in the comments and support one another. And please subscribe to this channel. I know we're brand new, but I am going to stay consistent with it. And it's very motivating if I start getting some people telling me that this is content that's worth staying for. And my main channel for content on dating, relationships, and breakups is youtube.com/@MeganSummer. And I would very much appreciate you going and subscribing. And I am looking forward to creating new content for that as well. I refuse to only make breakup content, even though my channel would grow so much more quickly if I did, because I don't want you to live in breakup land forever. I really don't. I want to see you grow and thrive and find so many wonderful tips to date and have relationships that are just going to make you thrive and so happy. I want that. I don't want you to feel like this forever because it makes my channel grow. This is strictly to help you through a very difficult time. My other content is to help you have an incredible life. So anyway, I love you guys and thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe. Please like the video and share if you think it could help somebody else. XOXO. This is Megan Summer.